Okay, so I just want to take a couple minutes to clarify a couple of things, okay? I need to be a little bit more specific sometimes, and also I wanted to address a couple of things. Okay, so let's just get the whole addressing thing out of the way. This way we can solely focus on the core of this video, which is going to be about Fortnite. This is kind of sort of a follow-up video to the one I made not too long ago about the whole thing with the paywall and Fortnite, but let's just get a couple of things out of the way first, and then we'll get back on track. So the first thing at the plate is a comment. A wonderful comment somebody left me. I'm telling you, a wonderful fucking comment this was. I'm not going to show the comment on the fucking screen and make this a whole dramatic fucking process, but I am going to address this particular comment, okay? I have been accused of many things in my life, including my YouTube life, okay? They are, by the way, completely different experiences. But without beating around the bush, somebody accused me of making my videos 10 minutes long with the intent of getting more ad revenue. In other words, accusing me of being one of those YouTubers who intentionally make their videos longer. They drag them out, they stretch them out, just so they can make some more money from their viewer base. Okay? You're following along? Good, good, very good. Part of me, a better part of me, by the way, feels conflicted at the moment because I feel it's ridiculous to even engage in this fucking conversation, to even acknowledge what this individual had to say, because I feel it's that ridiculous. Not because I'm trying to come off like I'm this all high and mighty, I'm morally against doing such a thing and all this other stuff, that you should know me, that you should know me better. No, you don't fucking know me. You don't know many of these fucking YouTubers. A lot of people are shitbags, okay? Shady motherfuckers and shit. I get it. I understand completely. I'm watching the same stuff you are. I can freely and comfortably admit that. It's not like I'm a big YouTuber, okay, and I'm coming off like I'm too good to watch other people's content. No. I'm a nobody in this motherfucker. And I probably always will be. And all I'm saying here is that I'm perfectly okay with that. Like, it's not that big of a deal to me. To break into fucking YouTube. And I just wanted to say to you guys that, like, I'm just like you. I'm not trying to come off like I'm better than you. I'm just a guy making videos, sometimes commentaries, discussing things that are on his mind at the moment, and things like that. Okay, I'm not fucking trying to be like, like, I don't know what you guys think. I'm actually going to be fucking with my videos for the sake of making more money. Well, first of all, just a small, tiny bit of effort when it comes to research. If you would have actually put that in, you would have realized that I did some edits in my video, okay? And I could have actually stretched the video out without using a 10-second or 12-second title card, because that's the guy's argument, that I put a 12-second title card there just for the sake of the video getting over 10 minutes, so I can make more of that glorious ad revenue. Maybe you know something that I don't, but from the way it looks on my end, I'm not making enough, for one thing, for that to even fucking matter, okay? Oh, and by the way, there are a couple of factors that are also involved to make this whole thing work. It's not just, okay, I'm making a video that's 10 minutes or longer. I put it onto YouTube and bingo bango, I'm making more cash. It's a little bit more complicated than that. Just putting that out there. But let's get back to destroying your argument, which was that I made the title card 12 seconds intentionally just to push the video over. As you can see in the video, I'm doing quite a few edits, which should tell you, okay, this guy has more than 10 minutes of gameplay. So if I really wanted to make the video 10 minutes or longer, I would have actually made the gameplay footage 10 minutes or longer. So quick question. Now, if I was somebody just making videos 10 minutes or longer, not using the old title card trick, okay, would that then be acceptable? Because maybe the intent is the same. I'm just wanting to make videos 10 minutes or longer for the sake of getting more money. If someone uses a title card to do it, which is, again, 12 seconds in length just to push the video over, compared to a guy that's using gameplay that's just 10 minutes of length to push the game over, I mean, why And what would be the difference when the guy is essentially doing the same exact fucking thing? So in reality, the title card is irrelevant. Now let's use another angle to take a look at this. I'm just going to lay it out there. I'm not big enough of a YouTuber where this is actually going to fucking matter, make an impact. To put it simply, you have to make a certain kind of earning. Your shit's gotta be on point, in other words. I mean, seriously, this thing isn't going to impact me. 10 minutes, 20 minutes, doesn't matter what I do to my videos. I put the most basic of ads, by the way, when I use them. I mean, what am I going to be making more? 2 cents more? I mean, 20 cents? I mean, seriously, dude. Come on, man. Think about it. But I will say, I don't blame him. I don't blame you for being skeptical. When you watch a lot of YouTube, well, that has a tendency to happen. You become a skeptical motherfucker. I know that I often do. From all the fraud, fake, shill motherfuckers out there. These shady, nasty scumbags. I get it. I completely get it. But before you go and accuse somebody of something kind of shitty in this case, at least take a moment to give it some thought. Think about it twice before you actually type it out. I mean, and I'm not trying to come up like I'm some perfect motherfucker. Not at all. I'm far from perfect. But in terms of YouTube, well, I felt if I kept it completely real, some people would appreciate that, to a certain degree. While I might be completely different in every fucking aspect, when it comes to gaming, I'm just like you guys, and I'm just a guy that's like you, that's uploading random shit to fucking YouTube, sharing his gameplay, trying to interact with the community, shit like that. So again, I'm far from perfect, but I have fucking honor, motherfucker. I'm never gonna sit there and mislead you, or become a fake fucking puppet, and play nice with these developers, and say things I truly don't mean, just so, you know, I'll make more money on fucking YouTube. I'm making chump change on this motherfucker. Okay? So the answer is no. It was an accident. There was no intent, okay? That title card wasn't designed to push the video over 10 minutes so I can make more fucking money. But I will say there is an issue with the title card. It's too long. 12 seconds is too long. Therefore, I pinned the dude's comment who was accusing me of this bullshit with my own comment, a reply that gives a warning that the title card is 12 seconds. You can skip it if that's going to be too long of a wait for you. And to the accuser, like, it's not that big of a deal, dude. You know? And I partly understand why you might think this way or have that kind of skepticism. I completely get it. You know what I mean? But come on. Another guy left another wonderful comment. I'm telling you, man, I hope these wonderful fucking comments just keep coming because they're absolutely glorious. So this one woman, man, child, or possibly all three in this fucking day and age, didn't like or agree what I had to say in that Fortnite video. Is the byproduct, or should I say, result of me being a negative person. In other words, doesn't agree with me, the game is fine, it's you, the problem is you're a negative person, that's why you made this video, that's what drove you to make this video. Not anything related to the game, it's just because I'm a negative person, that's why I chose to create the video with the paywall, which we're going to get more into in just a moment. So back to this glorious fucking comment. This guy, instead of actually addressing my concerns, okay, my arguments, addressing them, he chose not to only ignore them, but focus on a completely other direction, which happens to be more specifically my emotions, making this an emotions thing instead of a video complaint thing. You get what I'm saying? Like, what is wrong with you, dude? More importantly, to your credit, you might be partly right. I might be a negative person. But I can tell you for a fact that video we're talking about was made based on what I actually felt about the video game, okay? My true feelings. I made the video because I thought that stuff was actually important to discuss, to put out there, or to try to create a discussion about. That video wasn't made because I hate the game. I hate the developers. I hate the world. I hate my life. No. The video was made because I felt like that was worth actually talking about. The video was made because that's how I actually felt when I was playing the game. Like, I play the shit out of my games, by the way. I don't just play them for 10 hours, 5 hours, and jump on to the next hot thing. I actually play the shit out of my fucking video games. And so I usually have a good idea of what I'm talking about. Okay, and I also look into what other people are talking about. And in this case, it seems a lot of people feel the same way I do. Okay, so I felt quite a bit more comfortable uploading that opposed to, say, just me feeling that way. Okay, but yeah, back to the whole I think you're a negative person, therefore this video exists thing. Okay, I actually went on record quite a few times saying that I like the game quite a bit. I like it a lot, actually. So as you can see, or maybe you can't see, that's actually conflicting with your argument. Okay, and hopefully going forward you will consider that. However, you are partly right when it comes to me being a negative person. And all I'm saying to you, though, is with the same honesty, me admitting that, the video was not because I'm a negative person. The video was because I thought I was presenting good information that I believed in, that I felt was right to pass on to you guys. Okay? That's why that video exists. So it appears I'm going to have to put timestamps in the fucking video because I went on for way too long. Maybe I'm doing this on purpose to get some more money. But yeah, when it comes to Fortnite, when it comes to the whole paywall thing, I think that it might be more of a pay net than a paywall, okay? But before we continue, let's just throw a couple of facts out there. First of all, they are in fact implementing the same kind of systems that you would find in other free-to-play games, including the actual game design, where the first so many levels, it's smooth sailing, you know, everything's going fine, it's fun, you're having a blast playing it, and the next thing you know, things start to go a little downhill. The question here isn't, can you still play the game? Of course you can still play the game. Even in the most aggressive free-to-play business models, game design, where you absolutely can't progress any further unless you actually buy their stuff. You can still actually technically play the game. In this game, the impact isn't as hard. That's the truth, okay? It's not like it's coming to a complete abrupt stop where, you can't go any further. It's just if you don't pay, you can't do that as quickly, and it's a lot more boring. Let's just put it that way. A lot of this game, when it comes to the cycle, when it comes to the loop, is in fact the hero cards, the schematics, okay? The schematics, in my personal opinion, are everything when it comes to loot. That's the most important loot to me. That's the stuff I want. And then when you acquire all the stuff you want, the upgrades obviously are going to be the second most important things. Leveling those cards up to get to the ultimate power level, or desired power level, I should say. Let me just take a moment to explain to you how the weapons and the traps work when it comes to finding them in the game environment, okay? I'm not talking about crafting anything. I'm talking about finding loot, because the only way you can get weapons or traps in this game is if you find them in the real world environment, or if you craft them, okay? If you have the schematic. Now the schematic means which means you can make as many weapons and traps as you can afford when it comes to resources. And I personally have absolutely no problem whatsoever when it comes to the resources. I think there's plenty of resources to be gathered. So the resources to craft, in my personal opinion, they're not an issue. I did initially have an issue with the backpack space and the storage space, but I'm starting to be able to learn how to micromanage things a little bit better, so it's not as big of a deal. And plus you can continue to expand your space by unlocking certain nodes on your skill tree. All weapons degrade, whether you make them or whether you find them in the real world. The only difference is when you have these good schematics, you're actually able to upgrade them, have them with more durability, things like that. And for some reason, maybe I'm having bad luck, but when I find weapons in the environment, they tend not to have the best durability to start off with. But at the same token, it all comes down to what level that gun is and things like that. But the idea here is it doesn't matter if you're crafting weapons or if you're finding them, the end result is going to be the same. They're eventually, sooner or later, going to degrade. So when you do find a gun or a trap in the game environment, don't become attached to it. Don't get used to it, okay? Unlike many other games such as Destiny, where the goal is to collect weapons, the goal here is to collect schematics, okay? Instead of getting or seeking a collection of different weapons in your arsenal, you're actually going to be on the hunt for schematics, okay? Speaking from a game design mechanic point of view, that is where the meaningful, wholesome, core progression system is with this game. That's the carrot on the end of the stick. I saw somebody trying to compare these schematics to skins when it comes to it not affecting your gameplay. That's just not true. Skins are purely cosmetic. Again, these schematics are crucial to not only having a much better, funner time, but also having the best weapons. The durability becomes lesser of an issue because you can actually upgrade these bad boys, okay? Same can be said with the traps when it comes to upgrading them to last longer, take more damage, as well as the damage and all these guns can be increased, the rate of fire, magazine size, and other great stuff, including changing the weapon ammo type, such as elemental damage and things of that nature, where they're taking ammo cells instead of the conventional ammo. But you get the idea here. And so if you're not familiar with Fortnite, you might be asking yourself now, well, how do you get these schematics? The only way you can get these schematics are from certain missions, challenges, objectives, including adding things to your collection book, which is another function that I'm not going to sit here and explain right now. But yeah, there's a handful of ways to get them when it comes to the game giving them to you, okay? And it seems like at the beginning, the first so many levels, the game had no problem giving you either these schematics or the access, the means to get them, which is the actual currency and the llamas. And let's just say everything came to a screeching halt when you reach a certain level. They're not giving you any love anymore, okay? And you can still get them every now and then from doing a mission, but those ones are usually rares, and you're never getting the kind of thing that you're hoping for. Let's just put it that way. The stuff that you're actually after. Most of the stuff they give you is completely disposable by the time you get there, okay? Because when it comes to the progression and the actual items you're receiving, I think, and this is just my personal opinion, when it comes to the actual progression in comparison to the stuff they're giving you, I think it's a little bit out of whack. I think they need to retune it and balance it. Again, just my personal opinion. I feel like when I'm completing certain objectives and the things they're actually giving me for rewards, I don't even bother looking at them. I mean, I just glance at what color it is, and I'm like, okay, I'm way beyond that. Like, I would never use this. I usually have something better, and that's more or less because the game, I don't want to call it generous, but let's just say it gave an ample amount of things, where it gets to the point where it's like, okay, I have something better than this. I certainly have no use for it, and you're hoping you can stick it in your collection book or something, or you're just going to end up breaking it down, okay? And at the same token, when it comes to the stuff I need, I feel like I should have already gotten these lightnings in a bottle. I felt like which is an item to evolve your character, your hero, okay? I felt like that the introduction to bottles of lightning as well as the manuals too, I feel they should have been introduced to me way sooner. So the way I see it, the stuff you want, the stuff you feel you need, you can't get, or you might have to actually spend some money to get, okay? The stuff that you don't need, yeah, they're willing to give that to you. Just like many other free-to-play games. But here's my concern. This is not free-to-play yet. It's one of those weird things where if you pay money now, you're actually able to get in early. Okay, a lot of people see that as a privilege and all these other things, but yes, you get to actually test their game for them on your dime. I never thought I'd actually utter these words, but yes, you're actually paying them to test their stuff at the end of the day. Obviously, if you're going to buy the game anyways, then it doesn't really matter to you, okay? You can't really see how that's an issue. But other people, they might say, well, wait a minute. How is this a privilege? If anything, I would think that the developers are the ones that should feel privileged. They're double dipping, and in many senses, triple dipping. You can call it early access, beta, alpha, whatever you want, okay? But the bottom line here is that this has a retail sticker. Okay, a retail cost. It's being sold at retail. I mean, they're selling this just as Rockstar sells GTA 5, just as, you know, Assassin's Creed is being sold by Ubisoft. They're selling you this thing. The same thing is going to go free to play, and they're going to survive on a microtransactions ecosystem. Okay, different kind of business structure. The problem is that business structure is fully implemented in the game now, and so aren't all the trappings. And so they're getting people to pay to buy, or buy to pay. It's a buy to pay game. And all I'm asking is for the developers and Epic Games to consider that many of us are not happy with this. We didn't see this coming. Okay, we do love your game, we support your game, but we just kind of sort of feel this is a kick in the nuts. Why is it so hard for some people to understand that you can actually like something while be negative about it at the same time? You don't like everything about it. Okay, that's possible, and there's nothing wrong with that. You don't have to absolutely love everything 100% or hate it 100%. You can be somewhere in the middle, or leaning to the left or right. I mean, that's just the way life is. I don't know what kind of a fucking world you live in, but that's the reality, dude. I like this game, I enjoy this game. They need to maybe take a look at some things, because a lot of us, we are feeling a little bit salty over that. And can you blame us? I mean, seriously, think about it. Can you blame us? You know exactly what you're doing, man. You designed the game to be this way. I have to assume that you realized it was going to be sooner or later, and it's usually sooner, that something was going to pop up on Reddit or somewhere where people were going to figure exactly out what was going on. And that's all that's occurring here. Some people caught on to this shit. Okay. And people are getting a little bit upset because we're talking about that stuff? Wait, why? Like, why is that a big deal? While some people, I'm going to guess many people, bought the standard edition, I myself didn't pay anything. I was grateful to receive it as a gift. But some people also spent $150 on this game. You know, and I could only imagine somebody that's actually hip to what's actually going on here after paying $150, how they might actually feel. In one of my videos, somebody got a little bit hung up on the idea that I kept talking about $150, and I kept mentioning that in my video, and kind of made it like I was actually basing it all off $150. No, the reason why I kept mentioning $150, because I know how I feel about certain things when it comes to this game. I can only imagine how they feel, okay? These poor bastards that paid $150. That's a lot of money. That's why I kept mentioning it. I wanted to put emphasis on it because a lot of people paid substantially more. And although I did get this as a gift, which I am very grateful for, that does not mean this thing is now exempt from criticism. That complaints are somehow now invalid because the thing was for free. I mean, is that what YouTube has taught you? These pricks with zero integrity, sellout fucking shill cucks that will sell their soul for a game key, misleading you and acting like a fake fucking puppet just so they can get along with these companies, just so they can continue to get free stuff, or just so they can continue to get access, early access to certain stuff. I mean, is that what you want more of? Don't you think YouTube has enough of that already? Like, I'm not trying to rain on your parade, dude. This is just how I feel. If you don't feel the same way, you can tell me to go fuck off and move on. You know what I mean? Not a big deal. I'm not sitting here trying to convert people into thinking the same way I do, okay? That's not what's going on here, I can assure you. Put a little bit more faith into people, into humanity. They can figure things out on their own, draw their own conclusions and things like that, okay? But yeah, I mean, I'm not even getting into the hero aspect of this, because the heroes are also very desirable. I mean, they're also in the end game loop, but I can make an argument that I think is fair, that you can enjoy the game. I mean, that's not something that's absolutely critical, in my personal opinion. But it's fair to argue that they are, okay, because the power level is influenced by the rarity, okay? The same can be said about the survivors, okay? The stronger you are, the more powerful you are, obviously you're going to have an easier time in game against tough enemies, alright? What's tough to you might not be tough to me because I'm all decked out with all the best shit. So, in the core game loop, it's the schematics, it's also the survivors, it's also the heroes. But I think you can circumvent quite a bit of the survivor end of things and the hero end of things as long as you're somewhat skilled and as long as you're somewhat capable of playing the game. I don't think that the impact of the game, I mean, of course, we all want to get to the highest level possible and things like that, but I don't think it's absolutely critical. I think the schematics is more of an issue. And I think if they just place them around the world here and there, maybe stick them in those giant safes, the safes that you find in the world, okay? And stick a timer directly on those safes. Let them respawn every 4 hours or something. Anything. A couple of free frigging upgrade llamas per day. Something right now. I'm not talking about when it's free to play. I'm talking about right now while you're selling the game. And that's really my concern. I mean, I love the game, I'm having a good time, but I'm going to be honest with you, I'm having less of a good time because right now I feel a little bit stunted, a little bit stagnant when it comes to my weapons, when it comes to, you know, I'm not really doing the kind of damage I really want to do, or that I feel that I should be doing at this stage in the game, and things like that. And I don't have the ability to fix any of that. For lack of better words, I'm at the mercy of the game's daily challenges and things like that, because that's where you get the currency to actually upgrade. Well, there's a couple different ways, but let's just say they're far and few between compared to, say, the first 10, 12 levels where everything is smooth sailing, okay? That's all. I mean, I'm not trying to, you know, attack the game. I'm not trying to put it in a light where I feel like it's unfair. I think I have fair criticism here. I think the people that are actually talking or feeling the same way I do, they also have fair criticism here. I don't think anything's out of line. You know, I think it's okay to talk about this stuff. And that's all I really have to say. Before I go, I just want to take the time to thank the people that have subscribed recently. I'm getting more than normal. That means a lot to me. I don't see you as a means to an end. When it comes to this gaming stuff, I try to have your best interest in mind, okay? I mean well. I make videos because I enjoy doing it, okay? It keeps me busy. I'm not here trying to figure out how I can make more fucking money. I'm not here handcrafting videos that I feel is going to have the most views. That's for sure. I make the videos I want to make. For good or bad. You know. It's not motivated by money. I'm not saying that makes me any better or worse than people that are motivated by money. I'm just saying I'm not. Part of me, to be honest with you, doesn't want to succeed on YouTube. But that's all I got for the day. I hope you're staying safe and out of trouble. I love you all. Until next time, take it easy.